Morning students, today we are going to see what is meant by linearization, how we can modify the state equation and output equation to attain linearization for the system, and state model for linear continuous time system. So first we should know what is our state equation and output equation. So we know that our state equation is x dot of t, that is always the state equation is represented using first order differential equation. So x dot of t is equal to ax of t plus b u of t. So in this, x of t represents your state variable, u of t represent your input variable, a and b or your matrix, x dot of t is your state equation representation. So when you look at this particular equation, x dot of t, that is this x of t is nothing but x dot of t is a function of x comma u. So it is nothing but your state equation for a time invariant system. And moreover, the system is said to be in equilibrium condition only after the initial state. Therefore, the initial state of state variable and input variable are represented with x naught and u naught. So it represents the system is said to be in equilibrium after x is equal to x naught and u is equal to u naught. So here the state equation f of x comma u for time invariant system can be linearized for small variation about the point of equilibrium. So till x is equal to x naught and u is equal to u naught, your system will not be in equilibrium condition. Once the state variable and the input variable crosses the value x is equal to x naught and u is equal to u naught at time t is equal to t naught, your system starts to get stabilized, that is it starts to get linearized. So this is the point, this x naught comma u naught is about the point of equilibrium. So under equilibrium condition, we know we can assume that x dot of t is equal to f of x comma u, which is equal to 0. So the state equation can be linearized about the point of x naught comma u naught by expanding it in Taylor's series. So we know that by expanding it into the Taylor series means we know that x dot of t is equal to ax of t plus bu of t. So it is your state equation. This is the state equation. So this x dot of t is equal to ax of t plus bu of t is your state equation. And you are writing it in a is a function of x, that is a is a matrix which is a function of your state variable. So we are going to write a is equal to df divided by dx. B, it is a function of u, that is B matrix is a function of your input variable. So we are going to write it as B is equal to df divided by du. So x dot of I is equal to, we have I number of state variables. So we can write it as x dot of I is equal to df by dx, which is a function of, it means that your state equation is a function of your state variable and input variable. So we can write it as df divided by dx as a function of x comma u above the point of equilibrium, about x equal to x naught and u is equal to u naught, your system will get linearized. So you are going to fix the limit x is equal to x naught and u is equal to u naught, x final minus x initial. Same thing when you write it for B matrix, you can write it as df divided by du as a function of x comma u, where x is equal to x naught and u is equal to u naught. So here also the initial value will be u is equal to u naught, and here u final minus u initial. So x initial is nothing but your starting value of x from the point of equilibrium. So x final is the, once the complete system got linearized, that will be your final value. So initial point of equilibrium is going to be your x initial, and once your system is completely linearized, it is going to be your final value. then we can write the state equation x dot is equal to summation j is equal to 1 to n, because we don't know how many number of state variables and how many number of input variables are there. So here the state variable is represented with x, and we are x, state variable means 1 to n, input means 1 to m, output means 1 to p, as we discussed earlier. So we'll get dfi by dxj x comma u xj minus xj naught. It is nothing but your final value minus initial value. Final value is the value obtained after initialization. Initial value is the one that is obtained at the point of equilibrium. Same thing we need to expand and write it for your input variable. uk, it is your final input variable, and uk naught, it is your initial input variable. So after deriving, we will get the new value of state variable as xj and uk, which is equal to xj minus xj or not. uk is equal to uk minus uk naught. So here I can write the new value of, so once the system is completely linearized, we can write the state equation and output equation as x dot of t is equal to ax of t plus b u of t. Therefore, the linearized vector in matrix form is written as A matrix. A is a function of x, right? So we can write it as, it is a function of the partial derivative, that is function of x1, x2, x3, x4, and it goes on till xn. So similarly, we have n number of n state variable, that is x ranges from 0, 1 to n. So we can write it as dou fn divided by dou xn, dou fn divided by dou x2, and dou fn divided by dou xn. Similarly, we can write the B matrix as dou f, because B it is a function of u. So we can write B as dou f1 divided by dou u1, and u, that is input variable, ranges from 1 to m. So we have to write the matrix like this. So this matrix is called as your Jacobian matrix. So this is the equation. So this is the equation that describes your linearization of the complete system. Next, we need to read. Next is your state model for the linear continuous time system. So linear continuous time system means there are two types of signal, as we discussed earlier. One is your continuous signal and other one is your discrete signal. So continuous signal means for each variation, that is whenever the time get varies, the magnitude will also get varies for any variations in your time factor. Now we are going to read the state model for a linear continuous time system. This is your ordinary state equation and output equation. The first equation represents, it is your state equation, that is x dot of t is equal to ax of t plus bu of t. Second equation, it is your output equation, that is y of t is equal to cx of t plus du of t. Now we are going to make this linear continuous time system, we are going to insert a new variable called x, which is equal to m into z. So where m is nothing but your non-singular constant matrix, where whose determinant value, suppose here matrix whose determinant value should be not equal to 0. So it should be a non-singular matrix. The matrix M should not be equal to 0. This is the condition. So we are going to assume a new state variable x. Now you are going to, wherever you have x, you are going to replace it with m dot z. In this first equation, x dot of t, right? So x dot of t is nothing but m into z dot of t, which is equal to a. Wherever you have x of t, you have to replace it with m into z of t. After replacing, you are going to get mz of t is equal to amz of t plus bu of t. So when you bring this m towards your right hand side, you will get m inverse amz of t plus m inverse bu of t. So it is your modified form of state equation for a linear continuous time system. Whereas the output equation, so we know that the ordinary output equation y of t is equal to cx of t plus du of t. So replace x of t with m into z. So when you replace, you will get the modified form of output equation as c vector z of t plus d u of t. So it is the modified output equation. So from equation, from your modified form of state equation and modified form of output equation, from these two equations, we can write A is equal to m inverse am, B vector is equal to m inverse b, c vector is equal to c into m. So it is the modified form of state equation that is required for the analysis of your state models in linear continuous time system. Thank you, students.